This is the video for page 143, 43 to 67. Your homework was 44 to 68. Okay, determine whether each is a function. Alright, y equals x plus 1. So, if when you solve for y, you can only get one x, then you know that it's a function. So what I mean by that is if you solve for y, which is, this is already solved for y, there's only one x. So notice here, if I plug in a number for x, there's only one y. So in this case, then it is a function. Okay, so for instance, if I plug in 2 for x, then I get y equals 2 plus 1. So y equals 3. I only get one y. So then you know it is a function. But here, if I solve for y, so I'm going to divide 2 by both sides. So I get x over 2 is equal to y squared. Then I have to square root both sides, right? But if I write the square root myself, I have to do plus or minus in the front. So I end up with y equals on this plus or minus the square root of x over 2. So how many options is that for a solution? 1, 2. Positive square root of x over 2 or negative square root of x over 2. So that's 2 possible answers, right? So when you end up with 2 possible answers like that, then your answer is no, it's not a function. So the question in the directions say determine whether it is a function. So no, it's not a function. Alright, so let's solve for y. I'm going to add x to both sides. So I have y equals x plus 7. If I plug in a number for x, am I going to get more than one y? No, I'm not. So this is a function. So for instance, if x is 1, y equals 1 plus 7, y equals 8. I'm just going to get one y, so it is a Alright, here it's already solved for y. If I plug in a number for x, I'm just going to get, again, if x is 1, I get y equals 1 over 1, which is 1. You just get one answer. So it is a function. Okay. Again, same thing here. It's already solved for y. If I plug in a number for x, you just get one answer. So it is a function. Alright. Now let's solve for y here. I have to take the square root of both sides in order to do that. If I draw the square root myself, you have to put plus or minus in front of it. So then you end up with y equals plus or minus the square root of x. Now look, that's 2 options. So this is no, this is not a function. Okay, do you guys see how that works? If you only have one answer, then you're good. If it's 2 options, then it's not. Alright, for 55 to 61, you're going to plug into these 3 equations, f of x, g of x, and h of x. Alright, so 55, f of 4. So we're going to use the equation for f of x, which was f of x is equal to 3x plus 3. And they want to know what f of 4 is. So just write it underneath. What did I change? Well, I changed the x to a 4. So everywhere there's an x, I'm just going to put a 4. So f of 4 is, 3 times 4 is 12, plus 3. So f of 4 is 15. Now they want to know h of negative 3, so we're going to use the h equation. And the h equation, I'm sorry, let me just do this here. Let's do h of x first. So h of x is 5x squared minus 7. And they want to know what h of negative 3 is. So all I did was change x to negative 3. So everywhere there's an x, I'm going to put a negative 3. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to square negative 3. So I get 5 times 9 minus 7. Because negative 3 squared is positive 9. So that's 45 minus 7. So h of negative 3 is, what is that, 38? Okay. Alright. Alright, now they want g of 2. So we're going to use the g formula, or g equation. So g of x is 4x squared minus 6x plus 3. So they want g of 2. So everywhere there's an x, I'm going to put a 2. Okay, so g of 2, 4 times 2 squared. 2 squared is 4, minus 6 times 2 is negative 12, plus 3. So g of 2 is equal to 4 times 4 is 16, minus 12, plus 3. So g of 2 is equal to 16 minus 12 is 4, plus 3. So g of 2 is 7. And then g of 0, so again we're going to use the g of x formula, or g of x equation, which is 4x squared minus 6x plus 3. Some of you may be immediately be able to see that the answer is 3, but we're still going to plug everything in. So everywhere there's an x, we're going to put a 0. So 0 squared is 0. So we have 4 times 0, minus 6 times 0 is 0. 4 times 0 is 0. Zero minus 0 plus 3 is just 3. So g of 0 is 3. And the way that you will be able to tell that that was 3 from the very beginning is anything times 0 is 0, anything times 0 is 0, so 3 is the only thing that's not being multiplied by 0. Alright, 63 through 67, it says, given the following functions, find the indicated value. So f of x equals 1/2 x. So they want us to find f of 0. So we're going to say f of 0 is equal to 1/2 times 0. Well, anything times 0 is 0. F of 2 is equal to 1/2 times 2. Your 2's cancel, giving you just 1. And then f of negative 2 is equal to 1/2 times negative 2. Your negative 2's cancel, leaving you negative 1. Or your 2's cancel, leaving you negative 1. Okay. Alright. So they want g of negative 11. So you get 2 times negative 11 squared plus 4. Negative 11 squared is positive 121. 121 times 2 would be what? 242 plus 4. So that would be 246. Okay, that's A. I'll use a different color to make sure it's clear. So g of negative 1 would be 2 times negative 1 squared plus 4. G of negative 1 would be 2 times 1 plus 4 because negative 1 squared is positive 1. G of negative 1 is 2 times 1 is 2 plus 4. So g of negative 1 is 6. And then they want g of 1/2. So that would be 2 times 1/2 squared plus 4. So g of 1/2 is equal to 2 times 1/4 plus 4. Because 1/2 squared is 1/4. So g of 1/2 is equal to the 2 and the 4 reduce to 1 and 2. So it would be 1/2 plus 4. G of 1/2 is equal to 1/2 plus, we need a common denominator here of 2. So we can do 8 over 2 is the same as 4. So this will give us 9 over 2. Last one here. Okay, f of x is equal to negative 5. So they want f of 2. Everywhere there's an x, I'm going to put in a 2? Well, there are no x's. So f of 2 is negative 5, f of 0 is negative 5, and f of 606 is negative 5. Because notice, there are no x's for me to plug anything into. So your answer for all of them is going to just be negative 5. You guys have a great night. See you at school tomorrow.